all about thankfulness. And so my first thing that I want to thank happens to be what I call my bride. That's a bride of 30 years. It was with her willingness to actually teach my classes for me while I've been gone. I teach at the University of Hawaii, and then she's teaching a public speaking class right now for me while this is going on. So it's been interesting that way. I'm used to normally actually giving seminars as opposed to sitting in a chair. I have no posterior, and I see a lot of you bringing pillows, and I thought, should I bring the pillows? It's like really advertising the fact you have no posterior, so I did that just now to make that very clear.
We'll put this on YouTube.
Oh, well, that should be interesting. I hadn't really considered all that. But I'm thankful, obviously, to my bride. I'm also thankful to our Sue, that's my bride, and we have a collective best friend by the name of Cheryl, who attended this class last June. And she came to this class, knew that I had been working on, I call it cranking out a book, and she had indicated based on her input that I should be here. She actually talked to my bride first, and the two of them teamed up on me and said, "You're going." I says, "I already have previous commitments, how that's going to happen." And the two of them said, "We'll take care of that some way, shape, or form." So ultimately I was able to come. My other thankfulness has to do for each of you. I've had an opportunity to visit with almost all of you one-on-one. And I know when I first came in Thursday night, and it was kind of interesting for me because I knew no one that was here. And I was suddenly almost drug into a table with the ferry group.
We're social.
Now watching this last few conversations that have been shared, I actually think that you were actually trying to have me assist you in being convinced that they really were fairies. That was my take. You see this, don't you? You see it? You see it? Okay.
Yeah.
You see it?
You're going to be honest with me. You're serious.
I seem to be the token male drug into this space, and I thought, yeah, I'm okay with that. It's been interesting for me, of the literally hundreds of thousands of people that I've taught over the years. I found that most of the classes that I have taught are predominantly women. Women to me are more intuitive. Also, I was, as just a youngster, I'll say the word girls here because they were that size. They were always smarter than all the guys, and I always thought, wait a minute, how did this work out? They're just because they're a girl, they're smarter. It's just because, in my opinion, most of the guys were into sports, and most of the ladies were into, girls at that age were into studying. I had 3 sisters, so that was when they were older, so kind of interesting time. But anyway, moving back into why I'm supposed to be here, I just wanted to thank each and every one of you for your involvement with this for me. And I hope that I was able to share some things with some of you that hopefully was a mutual benefit. Tom, it's been interesting watching you as a facilitator. I, over the years, have taught facilitators, and everybody has their own style, and yours is definitely unique. It was interesting watching you as you worked with different people. It's already been observed that you work with different people in different manners. And that's very appreciative from my perspective. That's a goal of a good facilitator. There are people that give keynote speeches. There are people that give presentations. There are people that give workshops and seminars and facilitation. There's very few people that can do all of those. I saw your skill in particularly the aspect of facilitating. I'll make one observation. Last night, when you were here giving your presentation, there were portions of that in my opinion, would have been best on the very first night. And I was thinking, wow, that was really well done. Now, I don't mean talking about certain other pieces of it, but take a certain pie cut out of that and put it into the first night. That was very inspiring. However, were already almost finished, and I'm now being inspired. And I'm going, wait a minute now, what's going on here? But that was my analytical mind working on that piece. And you've assisted me in realizing that obviously everybody has a right brain, everybody has a left brain. Hopefully the corpus callosum in between kind of joins them. Unfortunately, most people I think somehow had that dissected at some point in their life. And that usually happens during education. We go through X number of years of schooling, and that's kind of pulled out of us, not by the teachers, but by what they are instructed to teach. So the administration, being a teacher myself for most of my adult life, I can really see that. But again, thank you very much for each of your involvement with me. I do hope that there is a way that we can stay connected in whatever degree is appropriate for each of you. It makes a big difference to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.